do, 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 do. What's up, everybody? Welcome back, YouTube and Twitch. Theme of the day: has Oblivion Remastered ruined gaming? Buenos dias, Phantom X. Buenos dias a todos. ¿Qué pedo, mi gente? Alright, we are back to the Shivering Isles, which I have never played before.
Always a pleasure.
I need to speak to the Duke of Mania and the Duchess of Dementia.
Speak quickly, mortal.
Alright, I need my coffee. Why am I looking straight up all of a sudden? Oh, I'm not. That was just it. It made me feel like I was looking straight up a tower. It's a trip, man.
They call me Cutter, for a truly inspired blade. I can forge madness or... Here, hold on to this parchment. It lists what I need. What shall I forge for you?
Oh, give me a bow.
Think of me when you send arrows to bite into your foe. Take care.
A very fine madness bow. Oh my. That's kind of cool. I'm gonna have to go stash my elven bow somewhere. Do I have any more madness?
You
Or-
remain... I'd love to shape up...
Don't have any more madness. Okay, that's fine.
Make it quick.
Down and to the right are the beds.
Goodness. Ah, oh, please. Well done. Oh, please.
What a wonderful compliment.
Real, not funny. Not even a little bit.
Remark.
That's just talk. Goodness. What? You can't? No, you do me too much honor. I wish not funny. Really now? You're such a charmer. I wish... Get away. That's just talk. Is that so? Not fun. Goodness. What can I say?
I know, Hector. It's absolutely ruined modern games, and it's super concerning.
All right, I get it.
Weapons and armor here. Especially weapons. Sharp ones. A fair bargain. A fair bargain. That's a fair deal. That seems fair to me. I can accept that. I can accept that. I can accept that. You got a good deal there. That seems fair to me.
I don't know what these cuirasses are for. These matrices are for, but
You
I'm
got
just
a
gonna
good
sell
deal.
these.
You got a good deal. A fair bargain.
I don't need the manual anymore.
That's a fair deal. You got a good deal. A fair bargain. That's a fair deal. That's a fair deal. You got a good deal there. If you need more, see you later.
Did I run out of repair hammers? Damn. Alright.
I do certainly. I'd love to. I've got the sharpest blades in the Isles.
Ooh, she's got dwarven
Maybe
arrows
anywhere.
too.
Take a look.
Ooh, and an elven short sword. That looks cool. Oh, damn it. Get back.
I've got the sharpest blades in the Isles. Maybe anywhere. Take a look. An excellent. If you need more, you. Bye.
The lusty Argonian ruins you. Oh, I guess she had a quest if I talked to her.
I do. Spirits of ancient soul. It's a supple and. Go.
Yeah, okay, I can find more of that, so we'll do that later. Alright, let's, I guess, go talk to the Lady of Dementia.
Sink your blade deep into the flesh of your.
Museum of Oddities. Oh, she's actually in here somewhere. Hector said, just
How
left
may
a
I
long
serve?
response on your video on gatekeeping and purism. Alright, I'll check it out later on. I've removed, I think, around 20 people from that. Like, I've had to remove like 20 comments from that video. In between last night and this morning, and it was every single one of them was either someone saying, that's because Rings of Power isn't really Lord of the Rings. That's because Star Wars The Acolyte wasn't really Star Wars. You're an idiot for liking Rings of Power. You're an idiot for liking Star Wars The Acolyte. Like, all of those. And I'm like, I am happy to remove you from the channel and hide you from the channel. Like, those are the exact people we were talking about in that video. And it's just so funny to me that they come out of the woodwork and no, it's not really Star Wars. It's not really Lord of the Rings. You're exactly the people we're talking about in the video, you numbskulls. How fair is a social experiment? You know, it's probably too early to tell. I don't know that I've seen too much long-term difference yet. We've definitely gotten some more people during the streams who come here because of the titling. So that's been kind of interesting, but whether or not those people turn into long-term viewers is another question entirely. We'll see. It's going to be going for the rest of the week at the very least. I noticed that even Co-Carnage changed his format once he started multi-streaming. He dates everything now, which is interesting. I can't date things, though, because I have things that happen, like... The reason I have, like, Part 1, Part 2, Part 3, Part 4 is because I live in the boonies, and because we have power outages, and sometimes internet issues, like, there are days when we've been streaming, and, like, the power goes out, and 15 minutes later I come back. So if I try to use a date format, it doesn't work, because I'm coming back on the same date. But if I use, like, a part format... Part 13, oh, the internet goes down or the power goes out for 20 minutes. When I come back, I'm on part 14. And then if it does it again, I'm back and I'm on part 15. So that has always worked very well for me. I don't know. It's an interesting thought experiment at the very least.
Hi. Why do you approach the Duchess of Dementia? Do you seek death?
What was the title today? Oh yeah, has the Oblivion Remastered ruined games? Ha 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 ha. Big Mick just subscribed over on Twitch with a Prime sub. Thank you very much, Big Mick. Appreciate the support. Hector says you're gonna get him so worked up they're gonna have to order some new adult diapers. Yeah. I think it was when we were watching season 2 of Rings of Power, the number of people who told my wife in it, through comments, not actually telling her, but through comments, saying that my wife is an idiot, or saying that my wife is stupid, saying that my wife doesn't know what garbage is, and that's why she's willing to consume the Rings of Power. Those commentary are the ones that are the I'm trying to figure out how to word that. Give me a second. Even I, as eloquent as I am, occasionally stumble to find the right words to say things. I think those are the saddest versions of the trolls, because they want to call something garbage just because they're not enjoying it. And it's like, they can't even fathom that someone else who is watching it for the first time might be able to find enjoyment. Or people who tell my 9-year-old nephew, I guess he's almost 10 now, because he loves The Last Jedi. It's like his favorite Star Wars movie of all time. Well, that's just because he's not old enough to know any better. He'll eventually figure it out, and he'll realize it's the worst piece of slop ever created, and he'll just hate those movies like the rest of us. And I'm like, no, he won't. Like, that's not the way this works. Like, you just hate everything because you haven't gotten a BJ in 17 years, and you've been living in your mom's basement, and that's the only only female touch you've ever known is your mom. Like, that's why you hate it so much. Like...
You're the one the Mad God
sent,
what's up,
Sandro?
Aren't you?
Yes, Excellence. I have been leveling up my weapons in... I've been leveling up all the things in Expedition 33.
None. Surrounded by traitors and spies I am. Always, always. They watch and wait, eager to slip a knife into my spine when I'm not looking. Could be all of them. Every last one. None can be trusted. But they'll never take me down. Never. I'll see them all rotting in shallow graves before I let my guard down. You will help me. Yes, yes, you will be most useful.
Right, Sanjo? Like, I still, like, there are parts of, I think, like, for me, as an example, I love the entire prequel movies. I liked them less when I saw them in theaters, and I've enjoyed them more and more as I've gotten older. Even though, yes, this, but you got to understand where he came from. As an adult, I still think that the romance arc in Attack of the Clones, when they're off on Naboo and they're rolling in the grass and everything, it's like one of the stupidest things ever. But you also have to realize that that was written for the teenage viewer, so it's meant to be a very simplistic take on romance. Um, and that's the problem. Ioto just put in chat. I want a new Star Wars movie. Please, no female main character. That's the problem with so many of the viewers who watch Star Wars. Like, there are a subset of people who watch Star Wars who are scared to death of female main characters. That's why there was outrage over Star Wars Outlaws, because it was a female main character, and people tremble at the thought of powerful women, even though Princess Leia is like, give me a Princess Leia TV show. Fuck yeah. I mean, that's one of the reasons I thought the Obi-Wan show was so much fun, was because you got to roll around with Princess Leia when she was a kid. It was awesome. Um, but anyway, the romance arc of on Naboo is always cringe, but it's cringe because it's meant for teenagers, and it's written for those young audience members in a very simplified manner. So when you watch it and you understand why it's written that way, it makes more sense. I still think to this day the Attack of the Clones, even though it has some of the cringiest stuff in it, I also think that it has some of the coolest stuff in it because it's got like Obi-Wan Kenobi being James Bond in space. Like, other than not wooing all the women he meets, but he's rolling around in a super fantastic vehicle with a droid and all these spy gadgets, and he's going off and doing these clandestine missions, and the fight between him and Jango Fett, or yeah, between him and Jango, like on the platform, um, in the rain, is just one of the coolest. It's just there's a poster out there. I don't know if it's fan made or not, but it's literally Obi-Wan blocking the blaster bolts, and it's Jango up in the air firing his blaster at him with the platform in the background and the Slave One ship with the rain coming down. And it's one of the coolest posters I've ever seen of Star Wars. Um, but those are the people who say things like, you know, Disney has ruined Star Wars, and it's like, no, they haven't. Disney has given us more Star Wars than we got in my whole life growing up. We had the original films, and there's a huge gap. And then George went back and did the remastered THX editions, the special editions, sorry. He did the THX editions first, but those weren't like re-releases. Then he did the special editions in the late 90s, like mid 90s, late 90s. I think it was like mid 90s because it was like a couple years before the new trilogy came out. Then he did the new trilogy and then nothing. And I grew up in a time when there was no Star Wars. Yeah, the Christmas special and the Ewok films. What's really funny to me is I went back, and I love using this as the argument for people who claim that Disney ruined Star Wars and that Star Wars under Disney is bad. It's like, I don't think any of you who say that have ever seen the Christmas special or the Ewok films. So I remember seeing the Ewok films when I was a kid and loving them. I went back and tried to watch those 3 years ago, I think it was, 2 or 3 years ago. They were so bad, I couldn't finish watching them as an adult. I was like, I can't do this. Like, my memories of those are pristine in my head, of these being these amazing films, and I'm not gonna go. I can't rewatch those right now. Like, I'm not in the right headspace. I would need to sit down and have an out of mind experience to really sit down and enjoy those, because they are not meant for adults. Those are 100% made for kids. And you have to be in that mentality to enjoy them. Sanjo, I think the Ewok films are great. as an adult, I recognize that they are definitely made for kids, but they're part of the overall Star Wars experience, and I think that's what's important about enjoying them. Anyway, yeah, so that's the only thing I've had to deal with this morning from the of trolls from that video we did last night, has been the amount of people who are anti-Star Wars, claiming they're Star Wars fans, but they're really just toxic assholes who live in their mom's basement. And yeah, how dare you like this slop? You know, whatever. I'm gonna love lightsabers till the day they put me in the grave.
You're going to find out who knows. You're going to learn who keeps secrets, who conspires against me. You will be my Grand Inquisitor. Expose the conspirators and they will be punished, I assure you. Find out who keeps secrets and what they are. Speak with Herdier. He will help you. Do you understand what is required of you? If no one is found, you will be held responsible.
Oh, that's a good one. I am going to timestamp this because we're going to have a conversation here really quick, because it keys into something that I've had on my brain lately, and since we're here together, let's do it. Let me timestamp this to 29.
Yes.
So, Happy Sanjo just said over on YouTube, let's be honest, some gross part of subculture has grabbed onto Star Wars and made it a battleground. So true. So this is a brilliant moment to talk about this, because I watched some clips from a podcast. I don't even know the name of the podcast. It was a couple of people, like a woman and a man, and they were talking about how so many people there are people right now who are up in arms, not actual Star Wars fans, but your typical anti-Disney Star Wars people, who are upset that episode, I can't remember which, it was episode 4 or 5. I can't remember which episode it was of Andor, when Bix gets attacked by one of the Imperial officers, right? And he attempts to violate her. And there are people who are up in arms claiming that never would have happened. That SA, which is, we're not going to say the actual words because of the algorithm, but that SA has no place in Star Wars. And there are a lot of other people who are coming out of the woodwork with their podcasts and stuff saying, actually, I don't think you don't actually understand Star Wars if that's your take on things. And the podcast in particular that I was watching was commenting on how so many people are out there saying things like, I can't believe this recent arc of Star Wars talked about things like visas and immigration and all this stuff. Why are they talking about real world politics? Why are they trying to inject real world politics into my Star Wars? I don't want to deal with politics in my Star Wars. Why are they making Star Wars political? And I'm like, and the podcasters were saying, I don't think you actually understand Star Wars the way you think you understand Star Wars if your thoughts around Star Wars are that it's not political and it's never been political and that people are injecting politics. Because ever since the beginning, under George Lucas, the Empire has always been about being this xenophobic, genocidal regime that does horrific things to the people of the galaxy. That's why the rebellion starts. And if you've never read the actual rebellion manifesto, the actual Rebel Alliance constitution, essentially, that they signed and was the decree for their Rebel Alliance, you don't actually understand the Star Wars you claim that you understand. Furthermore, if you think that George Lucas wasn't talking about politics, like, have you never seen the prequel trilogy? Like, it starts off with a fucking trade war and a blockade and tariffs and the entire thing is about the rise of the Emperor, Chancellor Palpatine, this corrupt creature manipulating the political system to take absolute power as a dictator. And it's all about visas and immigration and checkpoints and tariffs and xenophobia and genocide. It literally, and if you've ever sat down and watched the videos, watch interviews with George Lucas when he talks about how he mirrored the Rebel Alliance after that, I believe it was the Viet Cong, and he was talking about his parallels between like the Vietnam War and yeah, is this how democracy dies? Exactly, Hector. Like the entire everything about the Star Wars films has always been political in nature. There is the mythical side and the mystic side, but there has always been the political side. Always. Let me get away from these NPCs because they keep yelling hi at me as we're sitting here talking, and it's driving me nuts. So the idea that Andor is somehow bad because it's making it all political, it's like if you think that that's the case as a viewer, you don't actually understand Star Wars at all, because it's always been political, especially beyond the films. If you ever dug into like the books, the extended universe, the legends now they call it, the Clone Wars television show is 100% political in nature. So the idea that we're not supposed to touch on those things in the TV shows because it's mirroring real life. I don't want politics in my Star Wars. Baby, honey, sweetie, Star Wars has always been about politics. Always. It's always been about that. Like the whole purpose of the Senate and the Rebel Alliance was you've got planets that are breaking away because they don't want to live under the oppressive regime of the Empire, because the Empire is coming in and doing things like, oh, your planet has things we need. We're going to send our stormtroopers in. We're going to take all your shit. We're going to make your people prisoners. Your planet's going to become a prison planet, and all your shit is ours now. Exactly, Kenny. It's relatable because it's based on the real world that we live in. Hector says the subtext of the prequels. I always thought the subtext of the prequels was apathy. The Jedi and the Republic stood by and ignored the rise of evil. It's very true. That's one of the. I believe it's when they start getting around to the Jedi Order needs to die. Because it failed. The Jedi Order failed in its task. They became blind to the rise of the Sith because they were apathetic, and they grew to love power, and they grew to love their position as this powerful entity within the Republic. And because of that, the Sith came in and took it all out from underneath them and wiped them out. They literally fell because of that apathy. So the idea that Star Wars isn't political is a joke. Like, the people who think that Star Wars isn't political have never actually paid attention to Star Wars before in their life. To them, Star Wars is nothing more than blasters and lightsabers and the Force. But they've never actually paid attention to what George Lucas created. They've never actually paid attention to what... Like, one of the big things about the Empire is that they are anti-alien. They don't like anybody other than human beings. That's one of the big credos of the Empire, is that it is anti-alien. And that's something that's not necessarily explicitly explained in the films, although it is shown in the sense that none of the stormtroopers, they're all clones and or human beings. Like, there's no aliens that serve within the Empire. It's all humans. And that's a big part of who the Empire is in terms of only wanting the pure-blooded. And then the Sith have their own code as well, and especially if you dive into the background of the Sith race. And this goes into lore beyond the films. And that was another topic that has spun up out of this around Andor, is that there are people out there saying that Andor shouldn't be showing these types of themes in the show because they aren't appropriate for the modern audience, and that those type of deep details about Star Wars are hidden in the books and in the comics because they're meant to be like in the background, and we don't need to be showing them on screen because it's too atrocious. And it's like, that's the whole reason the rebellion rose up, was because of the atrocious actions of the Empire. It doesn't matter if you've never read the books or not. It's the understanding that the Empire is bad. The Empire does really horrible things. And it's all about politics. It's all about racism. It's all about xenophobia and genocide and trade wars and all of these things that are literally being mirrored in today's politics globally. And they were also being reflected during the time that George Lucas was writing those original movies as well. Which is why, going back to like the Viet Cong stuff, you know, it's always been political. And I think that when it comes to modern Star Wars, the Disney Plus era, I'm very happy that we're getting shows like Andor, which branch off and show us things that aren't necessarily the Jedi versus Sith. Because the Jedi versus Sith is awesome. It's cool to have Jedi and the Force and everything else, but that's only a tiny part. And if you go back to what George was working on before he sold to Disney, he was working on that big live-action Star Wars show where they wrote all the scripts, Ronald D. Moore worked on it, and etc. He's got a brilliant podcast episode he just did with Katie Sackhoff on her podcast recently, where he talked about the several years process that he was involved in writing scripts for that show with George. And that whole show was all about showing everything other than the Jedi. It was all about the everyday life of the people living on the planets under the oppressive rule of the Empire, and the people trying to eke out an existence while being ruled by tyranny and being choked literally to death. And one of the coolest things about Andor right now is that it is literally showcasing the absolute vileness of the Empire up close and personal, and how it affects the everyday person. So I already know, in the back of my mind, I know what's coming in this season on Andor, because we've already seen Daedra explain it. By the way, I'm getting into spoiler territory here a little bit if you haven't watched Andor, if you haven't caught up on Andor Season 2. But, too bad. Daedra even says it early on when she's meeting with Krennic, and she's like, what we need is a planned insurgency. We need to create this insurgency on this planet so that we can take the resources from that planet. We need a reason for the Empire to come in hard and heavy and kill everyone so that we can take the stuff. And the only way we're going to do that is if we create a rebellion, create this insurgency, which gives us a reason to go attack. So they're gonna come in. Oh, it's a false flag operation, 100%. They're creating, and you've seen it in like the most recent episode when they're literally watching through binoculars and they're letting this play out, and they've planned it all, and they're feeding them the information to create this series of events because they need an insurgency to happen so that they can send in the stormtroopers, so that they can send in the Star Destroyers, and that they can strip mine everything from this planet to create the Death Star. It's 100% all about the insidious nature of power and whatever it takes to take control. And the fact, I think this is the thing that terrifies some of the people who are watching the show, is I think they're finally coming to the realization that this is literally talking about their government. Like, it's literally telling them, this is your government that's doing this. Like, the whole... By the way, I'm not being political by saying this because I'm talking Star Wars right now, so I'm not breaking my own rule by talking politics. When they were doing the episode about the farmers on the wheat farm and how they're undocumented workers and their visas and everything else, and then the Empire comes in and they're doing these strip checkpoints and they're like going after the undocumented and everything else, it's like, oh, that's going to trigger some people. But it got even worse with this most recent block of episodes where it's talking about a government who's willing to go into a place, create false flag operations, create rebel insurgencies. Are you kidding? This is the CIA's playbook for like the past however long they've been around. Like, we're going to go in and create this insurgency. We're going to instill our own leadership in place, and we're going to take all the resources from that location and take them for ourselves. And I was like, oh my God, this is why so many people are uncomfortable with this, because they're I don't know why they've been blind this whole time, but they're finally realizing, oh shit, this is my own government that we're talking about right here. No, that's not true. Disney's ruining Star Wars. It's Disney's fault that Star Wars is political. And I'm like, you're fucking crazy. You've never actually watched Star Wars if that's your thought. So anyway, I forget. I gotta go back to what we were talking about. Wag the Dog is a great movie. I haven't watched that in years. I remember going and seeing that in theaters. I forget the comment that sparked this. Oh, Happy said, Sancho said, some gross part of subculture has grabbed onto Star Wars and made it a battleground. And that was sort of what I was starting off with, and I want to come back around to was the people who are trying to tell Star Wars not to be Star Wars they don't understand Star Wars. They claim that it's forced, that it's a forced narrative, and I'm like, you've actually never watched Star Wars. If you think that this is a forced narrative in Star Wars, you've never seen Star Wars. You've never paid attention to the entire Star Wars journey, the destruction of the very first fucking Death Star in A New Hope. Why were they going after the Death Star? Why did they need to destroy the Death Star? Why? Yeah, think about that for a minute. Like, go back and rewatch the films that you claim that you love, and if you really pay attention to Star Wars, you will understand that Andor and modern Star Wars is telling the exact same stories they have always told. It's just in a more modern setting now, so we've got more diversity in the cast, we're telling more stories. It's a great time to be a Star Wars fan. It's also a great time to be a Middle-earth fan, a Star Trek fan, a Blade Runner fan. I mean, all of these franchises that I love are coming out with great shows and TV and films, and it's just a great time to be watching this. But yeah, if you think it's just really, it's unfortunate how a vocal minority they're trying to make Star Wars about something that it's always been about. It's like, honey, if you thought Star Wars wasn't political, you never understood it. If you're just now catching on that Star Wars is political, and you're trying to gatekeep Star Wars because it's not supposed to be political, it's just supposed to be about lightsabers and the Force. You know, it's one of those things. Get the fuck out of here, Avant Tom, with your talk about that kind of stuff. Don't want you here. Go away. Matter of fact, I'm gonna ban you. I don't want people talking about that shit on my channel. Anyway, Star Wars has always been political, kids. It's always been a political statement. It's always been about fighting against a corrupt regime. That's the whole point of the Rebel Alliance. Get with the program.
He really wants something done about it.
If you're gonna watch Star Wars.
I'm surprised Eero hasn't taken matters into his own hands. Hi.
How may I serve?
Greetings.
What brings you to this delightful corner of the House of Dementia?
Oh, this is another one of those muted NPCs.
Are you? I'd expected an entrance with a bit more flair. Ah, well, perhaps you'll grow into the role. One can hope. Now, we've much to do. I do appreciate an assertively...
What?
What do you want?
What am I supposed to do with this guy?
See you.
He's agreed to accompany me. I need to speak with people in Crucible for information about the conspiracy.
Hi.
That's not true, Jokton. Not true. I just Googled it. Not true. Please don't spread rumors on the channel. Thank you. Appreciate it. That's one of the hard rules of my channel. No rumors. I literally just Googled it. There is no... I literally just Googled it. GTA 6 launch date. There is no news articles or anything.
Yes?
Who tweeted it? Give me 2 seconds to see if this is legit. Alright, I take it back. I take it back. Rockstar did tweet. May 26th, 2026. So they pushed it to next year. No, you're good. You're good. So, apologies for having that reaction, but we get a lot of rumors on the channel, so I always push back about that until I can confirm that it's true. Let me open this up really quick. Now, that's why a lot of people are hoping it's 2025. Give me 2 seconds, guys. I'm going to open this up so that we can actually look at this, because this will be something to push out on...
Hello.
So it looks like Rockstar just pushed this out on their Twitter page. It says Grand Theft Auto 6 is now set to release on May 26th, 2026. We're very sorry that this is later than you expected. The interest and excitement surrounding a new Grand Theft Auto has been truly humbling for our entire team. We want to thank you for your support and your patience as we work to finish the game. With every game we have released, the goal has always been to try and exceed your expectations, and GTA 6 is no exception. We hope you understand that we need this extra time to deliver at the level of quality you expect and deserve. We look forward to sharing more information with you soon. Sincerely, Rockstar Games. This is interesting to me because their lead guy was out just recently in the press, saying, well, we're not going to do a big lead up this time around. We're going to wait until we're ready to announce something that is going to be really close to when the game is actually coming out. Yeah, expect to hear from us when it's ready to go. And then they push this out, and it's a year from now. That's...
He really wants something.
Hang on, I gotta mute.
If Brythar doesn't watch it, he may.
I gotta mute the Oblivion behind us. Otherwise, the NPCs are gonna be talking the whole time. I find that interesting considering they were just in the press talking about how they weren't gonna announce anything until the game was ready to go, and here they are with a year. That's a year out from now. So, I mean, it doesn't matter to me one way or the other when it comes out. The good thing about this is it now gives other companies who are waiting to know when GTA 6 was coming out a breath of, like, okay, now we know, and we can now push our projects live and hopefully not get buried, because when this thing comes out, there's going to be a global surge in people calling in sick from work, taking PTO. You know, I'm going to take some time off and just stay home and play. But I am genuinely surprised that they made an announcement a year out from now, considering that they were just in the press saying that, oh yeah, we're not going to make any announcement until we're ready to go. We're doing it different this time. We're going to wait. You know, it's going to be a much shorter marketing cycle, is what they said. Well, that's not true. If you're giving everybody a full year. Anyway, GTA 6 coming out May 26th, 2026. So that gives us something to look forward to next year. Someone said check the first comment here. King Prez, 13 years to make a single video game is fucking insane. They've released more than just Grand Theft in that time, guys. Like, they take a long time to cook on their games, but they've also released other things since Grand Theft Auto 5. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. Sheena says, so many other games will now finally announce their Q3 and Q4 release dates now. Very, very true. This is now, more companies now are going to be able to say, hey, whew, we know. God, there's so many people upset about the delay. I don't get it. I don't get why people get upset when games get pushed back. Like, more time to cook is always better. Always better. Like, more time to polish, more time to get everything to get it right, Kenny. It's ready when it's ready. Ready when it's ready. It's ready when it's Raider. It's not high on my list, Thandar. I definitely am going to play it, but I much prefer their Red Dead games to their Grand Theft games. Like, I love the Red Dead series. It's give me more Red Dead, and I'm down for that. Grand Theft Auto has always been, I mean, they're fun, but they're not like, it's not my favorite franchise for sure. But one thing I can count on Rockstar to do every single time is innovate and push the industry forward. Every single time they've done a game, it pushes the industry forward with mechanics and so. But that's next year.
Yes? Here we are, safe indoors. Nothing to harm us here, is there? Errol has a big problem with Brythar. I don't know exactly what the problem is, but it's safe to say Errol is making a huge fuss over it. Errol owns a magic shop in town called Errol's Mysteries. If you want to know more, I'd suggest you ask him yourself. I'm not listening to you. It's because I don't like you.
Wow, thanks for being so transparent.
So?
Yeah, RPGs win every time for sure.
That's enough. What? No. You think that's funny? That's amazing. That's just stupid. I can't. Gracious. What a hero.
Oh, I did it wrong.
My life is trapped. Don't try. What a dunge. You've got a point. That's an. Don't. What a dumb joke. Gracious. What a hero. That's an. Don't. That's just stupid. I salute you. What? What a dumb. I salute. You've got a point. You will. Don't. You think that. Gracious. What a hero. Don't try. That's just stupid. I can't. Gracious. What a hero. I see. I don't know anything about a conspiracy.
Wow, I can like command him to torture her right away.
Thank you. I don't know. No, please, no.
Hello.
Please. I'm not involved. I didn't do anything. They wanted me to get them close to Syl, but I wouldn't abide them.
Who are you talking about?
It was Masada. He said he was working on behalf of someone else. He told me I needed to help him, or there would be repercussions. I didn't know what to do. Turning on Syl could cost me my life. But if I don't help, what will Masada do to me? You must do something. I've told you all I know. See you.
Yes, Inquisitor? Of course, Inquisitor.
Yeah, Bethesda Jank is the true jank. But that's why Bethesda has ruined games. That's why Oblivion Remastered has ruined gaming, because the jank just shows us that it can be enjoyable to have jank in the games, and that's ruined it for everybody else, because I'm sure you guys know that like a game has to be completely flawless if it's going to release in 2025. It's not allowed to have jank. It's not allowed to have bugs. Jank is bad, right? The basement trolls tell me jank is bad, and the games have jank, and when a game has jank, it's not a good game, and it's unacceptable for games to have jank, and jank can be really fun and beloved. Oh, there's somebody. Like a door here? There is. Oh, it's a house. Is that how many concurrent players there are right now? That's pretty cool if that's true. I haven't looked at the actual concurrent count, Thandar.
Looking. It's gone. All of it. Gone. Have you seen any of it? Any of my things? The others. They think I'm stealing, but I just want my things back. This better be good.
Up and down are the bad ones.
You can't scare him. Not now, not later, not ever. Is that so? That's pretty good. Don't gracious. What a hero. I said you can't scare him. Sure. Don't waste your flattery on me. Not bad. Not bad
Oh
at
shit,
all.
I should have done it that way.
Don't waste your flattery on me.
Oh no, I screwed it up.
Is that such adventures? Don't try to manipulate. Gracious. That's pretty good. You're wasting. Sure. Don't. Gracious. What a hero. You're good. I'm afraid I have no idea what you're talking about.
Liar!
Please, no! You may continue to do your worst, Inquisitor, but unless you have some evidence of this preposterous conspiracy, you'll get nothing from me. Keep an eye out for... my things, won't you?
Yeah, the last thing I paid attention to, Bethesda made the announcement like however many days ago it was. They had over 4 million people had logged time. And I was like, that's pretty impressive that more than 4 million people have been like, dude, let's go play Oblivion Remastered. That's awesome.
Narian's that. I'll ballito before I crable. You're talking to me, and I don't like you. Narian.
So I can't actually do anything here.
You smell worse than that cat, Bisha. Get away from me. I don't know anything about a conspiracy. Please, no.
You got a problem?
Please, no more. I don't know any. Thank you. See ya.
Hello? I like dogs. Dogs are pretty. I'm not listening. No, no.
Please, no!
I don't want trouble. I keep to myself. But I see Mazada and that dog seducer, Nelrin, meeting behind the buildings late at night sometimes. That's all I know. Nothing more. Goodbye.
Hang on, I keep misclicking. Inspect, blah, 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 blah. In Crucible, I need to find them and listen to their conversation. He said around midnight, right? Oh, that's like the other door. Torture's the only way to exercise true power. Spoken like a Sith. It is a beloved franchise, Thandor. It also goes to show you that all the people who claim that Bethesda sucks, like, that's just not true. Like, if so many people hated Bethesda, they wouldn't have millions of players playing their games. This is why I always loved the people who tried to shit all over Starfield, claiming that Starfield was some sort of a failure or something, and it's...
Duty calls, citizen. Mad God's blessings upon you.
Take care.
Okay. Starfield was Bethesda's most commercially successful title.
Have you made any progress? Will Anya assist us?
Shh, we are not alone.
So all these
It's
people
not
who try to
safe
claim
to
that
speak.
Starfield was some sort of a failure,
before
it's like the
someone sees
numbers show the exact opposite. The numbers show that Starfield was and still is Bethesda's most commercially successful title of all time. A game cannot be a failure when it is commercially successful. Oh, but it's just not as good as the Far Harbor expansion. It's not as good as Fallout 4. It's not as good as Skyrim. The numbers show otherwise. So take your little opinions and shove them. Now, critically speaking, I think that there is an argument that, yes, there are certain critically acclaimed titles that Bethesda have done, but Bethesda is not defined by only their critically acclaimed titles. Bethesda makes good games that millions of people enjoy. That's kind of like the people who try to shit on Ubisoft and Assassin's Creed. Someone was still trying, I think 2 days ago I saw on TikTok, they were trying to claim that they were looking at Clair Obscura, and they were saying, look, Clair Obscura has more players, has more concurrent players than Assassin's Creed Shadows. It's like, well, Assassin's Creed Shadows has been out for a few weeks now. And they were like, look, $350 million games, $350 million game can't even pull the same numbers as a game that was made by 30 people for 30 million, 40 million euro, whatever. First of all, Assassin's Creed Shadows has been out a few months. Second of all, Assassin's Creed Shadows is available at a lot of places. Expedition 33 is also a Game Pass title, don't forget that. But the big thing is that Assassin's Creed Shadow is the second best-selling game of the year behind Monster Hunter Wilds. So concurrent doesn't really mean that much when the game has already been out for X amount of, I think it's been out for a couple of months now. But also the fact that it's the second best-selling game of the year after Monster Hunter Wilds. Assassin's Creed games sell, it's a billion-dollar franchise. They sell millions of copies. So you can dislike the series all you want, but you can't discredit the fact that it is a massively successful series. Same with Bethesda. Like, Bethesda makes games that millions of people play. So you might not like, Bethesda games, but that doesn't change the fact that millions of people do. I would agree with that, Thandar. I said that. I think I said that in my final Starfield review. I said that I said Bethesda's next project has to move away from the reliance on loading screens. It doesn't have anything to do with the creation engine. There's way too many people who don't understand game development. Way too many armchair developers who think that the engine is what's slowing Bethesda down, or the engine is the problem. It's not the engine. You could do anything you want with an engine. Any game engine can do anything you want it to do if you have talented programmers. And Bethesda does have amazingly talented programmers. Here's the thing. Bethesda has a formula, and that formula has worked for them for many, 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 many years. But the loading screens have got to go. Now, whether they make the loading screens go away using the creation engine, or move away from the creation engine and use another engine like Unreal 5, it doesn't matter. But they have to modernize their gameplay experience. Because when I played Starfield back to back with Cyberpunk 2077, holy shit, both of those are great games, right? But it's such a noticeable difference going from one game, which has a largely seamless gameplay experience, which is Cyberpunk 2077, and playing that simultaneous to Starfield. And as much fun as I have in Starfield, as much as I love that game, there are so many loading screens. Correct, Thandar. It's definitely, and that's the thing a lot of people fail to realize, is that this is where guys like CoCarnage can say things like that, and I don't disagree with them. I think that Bethesda needs to create a seamless experience for Elder Scrolls 6. But you also have to realize that there is a nostalgia tied to those, correct? That tied to the loading screens, and Bethesda has a massive audience. They don't need the approval of modern gamers to make a successful title that is commercially successful for them. Proof in point is Starfield, a game that had lots of loading screens, which many people, myself included, complained about, and yet it still was their most commercially successful project of all time. Just goes to show you that even though we are all complaining about the loading screens, it doesn't change the fact that we're still playing those games and enjoying those games. And even while we're saying, Bethesda, you got to make this better, we're still having fun with it while acknowledging that this is a weak point in Bethesda's future experiences. Like, they really do need to get rid of the loading screens. But that doesn't have anything to do with the creation engine. You could do anything you want with a game engine. You just have to make it work. And that's a programming thing. It has nothing to do with the engine itself. Correct, Hector. There's a lot of stuff that people don't understand about the development of games when they try to make the side-by-side comparisons and say, well, they should make their game work like this. They can't. There's different games. They have different things going on. Can you interact with all of the objects in Cyberpunk 2077 the same way you can in a Bethesda game? No. And that's the reason why they can make a seamless environment, because they don't have all of these interactable objects, which are creating load issues and loading screens. Because every time, I was discovered. Okay, sorry. I need to probably reload. I wasn't paying attention. So, if I go into any building here in this game, you can, let me just pick a building here, like this one. right? This is a perfect example because this is what Hector was saying. So like I can go into a building here. Look at this. Interactable object. Interactable object. Interactable object. Interactable objects. All over the place. Interactable objects. Right? You can pick these up. You can knock them down. You can throw them around. You can place objects. All these different things.
Halt,
You
lawbreaker.
can't do that
Lord Sheogorath's
in
justice
Cyberpunk
demands
2077.
reparations, or it's the dungeon for you.
And one of the
Any
reasons you
stolen
can't do
goods
that in
will be
Cyberpunk 2077 is because
A
their
prison-
game isn't built that way. And so when you have all these objects like that, they're taking up, it's a loading resource, it's LODs, it's a drain on the system, it's all of these things. And so one of the reasons Bethesda has always relied upon scenes that you load into is because they can have a small scene with lots of objects within it that are interactable and they're local to that scene. And then you load into another scene and now you have other interactable objects that are local to that scene. That's part of the charm of Bethesda games, and they've been doing it for decades. But that's one of the reasons between a Bethesda game and like a CD Projekt Red game is because we have all of these interactable objects. It's one of those tiny little things that explains, or it should explain to people who want to take the time to listen, the difference between what's up? No, it's my pin. You take your own pin. No, that's my pin. She steals my pins all the time, guys. I have to defend my pins. Thank you. Darius says another difference between Bethesda games and Cyberpunk 2077 is that the NPCs in Skyrim and Starfield are almost always persistent, while in Cyberpunk they are just background filler. Right, they are loading assets differently. But that's the thing, like if Bethesda wants to move to a seamless loading experience like what Cyberpunk 2077 has, or like what Red Dead Redemption has, or something like that, they will have to fundamentally change how they develop their games from a fundamental ground level. You won't be able to have all of these interactable objects and NPCs with persistent schedules and all these different things. It doesn't work like that. And there's too many people that don't understand game development who are like, oh, but it needs to be exactly like these other games. So I will say that yes, Bethesda does need to modernize, and I think that getting rid of loading screens or lessening the loading screens would be a great step in terms of creating a more seamless gameplay loop that would be better for modern audiences. But they also have a massive customer base who play their games. And some people will try to argue is that, well, they no longer have me as a customer, and if they don't modernize, they're going to lose they're going to continue to shed audience members. And I think the success of Starfield will show you that that's just not true. Bethesda can still create games that have a massive commercial draw and still continue to grow as a company, even if they're making games that are old school, if that makes sense in terms of their design. It's going to be interesting to see. I personally would love them to move away from so many loading screens, but yeah, exactly, Thander. I don't mind them. Like, the one thing I praised about Starfield was the fact that I could put my own screenshots into the loading screens. So I was able to enjoy the game and my playthrough because I was like, these are the screenshots that I took, and now these are the loading screens that I get to see. And so it's reminding me of the cool adventure that I've had as I've been playing through this game. So, you know, it's going to be an interesting thing to see what they do with Elder Scrolls 6. I think it would do them a hell of a lot of good if they switched to the Unreal 5 engine and got away from Creation Engine. But I also there's a reason why Halo Studios moved to Unreal 5. There's a reason CD Projekt Red moved to Unreal 5. There's a reason so many big, huge companies who have had their own engines for years are moving to the Unreal 5 engine. And the reason is because it's literally not one of, it is the most powerful game engine on the market these days. And the things that it does in terms of the lighting and the shading and the real-time rendering that other engines just can't do, that is a technological leap that many major studios are looking at and going, why should we spend millions of dollars of dev time every single year when this engine already exists and we could take those millions of dollars and put it into creating gameplay experiences as opposed to engineering? That's just a smart business move. If I was running a major studio right now, I would be using Unreal 5 without a shadow of a doubt. I would switch. But I don't know what Bethesda's going to do. It's going to be interesting to see.
Have you made any progress? Will Anya assist us?
No, that blasted Inquisitor got to her. We'll need to find someone else.
See that you do so immediately. This is the one task which you were assigned. If you cannot complete it, you will be removed. Are we clear?
I will. I will. I want to see Sil dead just as much as you do. She cannot be allowed to survive after what she's done. It's despicable.
Good. I shall expect a progress report soon. And keep your head down. The Inquisitor must not become involved.
Hi. I used to think you were a hero. A holy knight and all that. I guess I should have known better. I've told you I don't know any... What? Please, spare me. I'll do anything.
Who else is involved?
I don't know. Besides Nelrine. She's taking orders from someone, but won't tell me who. If I find out, will you promise to spare me?
Very well, bring me names.
Thank you. Thank you. You are too kind. I shall bring you names, I promise. Meet me in my house tomorrow at midnight. I'll have the information for you. Keep an eye out for my things, won't you?
I forgot about my second cup of coffee. You guys got me going on all sorts of topics. I got 3 videos to clip out already. And then my wife came in here and tried to steal one of my pins. But I did not. Did not let her. I was vigilant, kids. He's dead. Alright, we're probably looking for a chest or a cupboard or something. Not so, Hector. My pens are mine. The worst part is she'll take a pen from my office, she'll take it into the kitchen, and then she'll lose it. And I use pens every single day. But she's notorious for losing pins. You know how some people are lighter thieves? And they'll take a lighter and it just disappears? That's how my wife is with the pins. Oh, damn it, I clicked. Damn it, what did that say? I need to confront Nelrine.
Greetings.
No, I don't do journals, but I do have, like, this is the one I filled up a couple months ago. Right now I'm working through this one. This is the one from that I started. I started this one in June of last year, and I finished filling it like about maybe 2 months ago. So I still keep it here because this actually has a bunch of notes in it from when I was at my brother's place, related to the content that I'm creating for their ranch YouTube channel. So I still have like some interview notes and things of that nature. So I use these for, but literally what this is most of the time is like, you'll see it's all scratched out as we go through. So what I'll do is, as I'm sitting here, things happen, I have a conversation, I timestamp it, that gets clipped out for later. Once I've produced that video, I scratch it out. Everything that happens on a daily basis with my streams, gets jotted down here in a notebook. Things get timestamped, ideas get written down. Mostly this is going to be for things like clipping videos out of like, so today, as an example, this is from yesterday, or 2 days ago when we were coming up with the titles for YouTube videos. We need to talk about, I'm super concerned about things you don't know about, things the devs don't want you to know about. That's that section right there, like 10 different titles. And then there's this is like marking a YouTube short to clip out. This is the clip from last night about how to make money as a streamer. And then this morning we have the Star Wars discussion. We have the GTA 6 timestamp, and we have the Bethesda engine discussion all timestamped. So when I finish the stream, I'll go into Twitch, look for the timestamps, clip those out, export those to YouTube, create a thumbnail, write a description, push those out on social media. And that's the day job. If I have ideas for other videos, those get jotted down in here. And then as I complete things, generally speaking, as I complete things, I scratch them out. Oh yeah, I've been doing this for since I was 20. Like, I've got decades of notebooks. I keep all the notebooks too. They're just in boxes. Like, I've got notebooks. My mom says that she has notebooks from when I was, still an early teen, because I used to write music for the piano. And so I used to write a lot of poetry, and I don't have access to those, but apparently my mom has a bunch of journals from when I was like 12, 13, 14, 15, full of just poems and piano music that I wrote. And then I started writing short stories when I was probably 12 or 13, and those are all in journals, old school journals. I've always done, it's not journaling per se, it's just note taking. I don't like sit down and write my thoughts. Like, it's not like, today I wanted to drink a mojito and I didn't because I felt sad. Like, I don't do that kind of journaling, but it's mostly just like, these are notes, these are ideas, maybe a short story concept. I haven't written in a journal, like I haven't written a story, like fantasy or science fiction, in a physical journal not since I started, like, probably, I think when I got my first computer, which was, my own computer was when I was 19. I got my own computer. I went and bought my own. So ever since then, I haven't written story ideas, not story ideas. I haven't written actual prose in a journal. I do everything in a word processor. Microsoft Word is my preferred, but I've done stuff in Google Docs in a pinch. But I've got like 25 million words published, and I've done all of that in the digital space. And most of what I've done since about 2008 was when I started using dictation software to save my hands. So I've used Dragon Naturally Speaking for 15 years. I haven't upgraded in a while. I don't even know what the most recent version is I have on my computer. I haven't upgraded in a while. I have... Which one do I have? I don't even know which version I have right now, to be honest with you. It doesn't tell me. Anyway, yes, I am very efficient with my time. And I redo stuff a lot. There's a big benefit to like copy and pasting. So as an example, I just did a round of videos for the Dune Awakening beta preview event, and there was a section of video that I used for 3 different videos, because it was, I did an episode, and then I did the dungeon run, and then I did a discussion video using that video footage. I will probably get another 3 to 5 pieces of content out of that same video footage. Very important to make sure that you reuse as much as you can of everything you can. This goes back to game development, guys. You know, you guys were talking earlier about how you see Skyrim assets reused. That's game dev 101. You're reusing your assets as many places as you can. Look at Mass Effect 1. Like, they copy and paste the interiors of some of those like little dungeons you go into where they're like office buildings. Like, I can run around in Lord of the Rings Online, and my brother and I have noticed it for years. There's a fallen tree asset that they use as like a bridge in Lord of the Rings Online. It's a tree that bridges the gap between 2 areas, and there'll be like a river or a canyon underneath it. And all they do with the tree is they reskin it and they scale it to different sizes. So it's just a single asset that gets reused like 150 times throughout the game in different areas. And all they do is they have a high resolution version of it so that it doesn't lose texture when it's rescaled. So they create it at a high resolution, at like 8K resolution, or whatever, and then they shrink it down to whatever they need to shrink it down for to use to bridge the gap between this gorge, and here's a mountain pass, and here's a canyon, and here's this thing. And they just change the color on it, and change the bark on it, you know, and it just gets reskinned to reuse over and over and over. That's just smart game dev. Like, reuse your assets as often as you can. Yep, World of Warcraft, any MMO does it. The MMOs do it more than pretty much every other type of game. But I will definitely reuse footage for many different things. That's right. Oblivion Remastered has ruined gaming, JetX. It's ruined gaming for every other company out there.
What do you want?
Oh, sweetie, I know everything.
You have no proof. You cannot hold me accountable for anything. And with it, you'll do what? I'm not even the one you want. Murine is behind it. You'll need solid proof to pin it on her. You already...
Alright, I've been yapping a bunch. I need more coffee, kids. I'll be back. Oh, people cry all the time, Gustav. Yeah, like Kenny says, it's just their lot in life is to cry about every new release, regardless of who the company is. All right. One thing I forgot to do, I went and bought a new bow, and I forgot to map it. What's up, Inky Z? Oh, that hurt. Oh, I need to rest. I got a ding. Let's quick save before anything else.
Apologies, citizen, but
I need to go find a bed. Is there like an inn? That's a tap house. Can I sleep at the tap house? I honestly don't know where I can sleep in here. Oh. Tap house guest rooms. Turn around. There should be the tap house right here. Liv M says Oblivion Remastered has destroyed gaming for me because it's so damn fun.
Over here. I need to talk to you. It's important.
Hey, I have a proposition for you. Best not to talk about it here. Meet me at the sewer grate, northeast of the Sher Gorath statue. Come after dark. Come alone.
I really like Oblivion Thandar. Like, I don't... It's... For me, this is, like, my favorite game in this series, so I can't really... Like, I find this the most interesting, so... What part of Tamriel? I don't, you know... I'm happy, like, with this. I haven't played the games enough to know off the top of my head. Like, Skyrim has a couple of locations, like, in the mountains. I don't remember what those places are called, but those are really cool. Elder Scrolls Online, when I went and did the Morrowind expansion, I can't remember the name of it. I think it's literally Morrowind. You know, but done in a modern way.
Sickly Bernice, proprietor. Don't get...
Catch, what's the matter?
See,
Okay.
that is, unless someone like you...
I don't care about your cure, I just want a room, lady.
Sleepy, are you? Be careful. You might be ill or dying. You never know. If you insist on sleeping, there's a bed for...
20 gold a night.
Very well. Go through that door.
Door up the stairs.
Leaving me
First bed on
to
the
die in
right.
peace, eh?
So, through the stairs. First door on the right. Level 15. Mika says Bethesda has really ruined gaming because now all I do in my spare time is play Oblivion. I fucking love it. Oh, that's the spirit. Head canon is not fact. That's a great comment somebody just left on that video from yesterday. Head canon is not fact. Well, you'll have some people who claim otherwise, but that's such a true thing. My favorite is when you get people who try to argue that their head canon is more legitimate than the actual canon of a project. I gotta jot this down. Head canon. So this is on that IP video we did yesterday. N8J722 says, preach. Adaptations are impossible to make 100% one-to-one. Headcanon is not fact. Also, what's funny is when you give multiple people easy modding tools to a game like Skyrim, they'll all come up with different reasons and versions for every single person of what their ideal Skyrim is, or what should or shouldn't be included in terms of mods. It's very true. But headcanon, man, I've had that discussion so many times about Middle-earth and Star Wars, because in both cases, Star Trek even to a lesser degree, but in all three of those examples, the original authors are gone, or dead and gone. Well, I guess George Lucas is still around, but he's dead and gone in the sense that he sold the IP. But the point of this is that the most vocal of the people who claim that headcanon is more official than official canon is because they'll say things like, well, Gene Roddenberry wouldn't have wanted this. Tolkien wouldn't have wanted this. Tolkien would be rolling in his grave. J.R.R. Tolkien would have said this. J.R.R. Tolkien would have thought this, etc., etc., etc. But you'll even see it with authors like... a good example of this is J.K. Rowling, because she has come under fire in recent years because of her stance on transgenderism. And you have a lot of people who loved her books who can't stand her politics, and they can't separate art from the artist. And so they will then say things like, well, I don't approve of her politics, therefore I don't approve of her canon for the books. So I'm going to make up my own canon, and I'm going to replace the official canon with my head canon for what Harry Potter actually is. And that's not the way it works. You'll also see this with Star Wars. People will say things like, Disney Star Wars doesn't count. Only the George Lucas Star Wars counts. And I'm like, yeah, but you guys also ranted about how George Lucas Star Wars was bad when George Lucas was in charge of it, because you'll throw Jar Jar Binks out, and you'll say that Jar Jar Binks is like, no, I can't accept Jar Jar Binks. No, I don't accept midichlorians. George, you ruined the Force when you added midichlorians. So I think the big issue here is, like, is it headcanon is not fact, but it goes beyond that in the sense that many people try to claim that their headcanon is more official than actual canon just because they disagree with what the modern version of those franchises is, whether or not the original authors are still around. Because in many cases, as with like Star Trek, Star Wars, or Middle-earth, those IPs are now governed by other people than the original creators, who may or may not still be around. You know, with Star Wars, George Lucas is still around, but he hasn't been involved with it for a decade. Christopher Tolkien is gone. He was managing it for his father, and now it's managed by basically the grandchildren, who had nothing to do with any of the editing or writing, or they're just managing this massive library of works that Tolkien and his son worked on. And in the case of Star Trek, Gene Roddenberry has been gone for decades, but yet you have a very passionate group of people who have continued to work on on Star Trek over the years, but you'll have all these people who say things like, well, the J.J. Abrams movies aren't really Star Trek. I don't include those in the canon. And it's like, you don't get to make that decision. That's not your decision to make. Just because you didn't like the J.J. Abrams movies doesn't mean they aren't official Star Trek properties. They are very much 100% official Star Trek canon. That's the Kelvin timeline. You don't have to like the Kelvin timeline. You're free to not enjoy that as much as other pieces. Absolutely, but your headcanon of that not being an official part of the Star Trek universe doesn't trump the fact that it's actually part of the Star Trek universe. Magically wanting to throw the Star Wars Christmas special out of the picture and say, oh, it's the most horrific thing ever made. I don't accept that. I don't accept Jar Jar Binks. I don't accept the Disney Star Wars. That's not how that works. Like, headcanon is not, especially when it comes to licensing and IP and copyright. And this is where I will always, and this is the easiest way to ruin a troll's day, is when they try to say something like, well, I don't accept that. Well, it doesn't matter if you don't accept it, honey. Copyright law, trademark law, and IP law specifically show that that is, in fact, official canon and official whatever. And then they'll say things like, well, the franchise wouldn't exist without fans like me. It doesn't need you, honey. You're not actually a fan if you're going to take a stand and say something like, well, that's not officially part of the canon, that you were never a fan in the first place. We could dislike different, like we were talking about the Ewok movies earlier. Those are not good movies, but they are fun in terms of being a kid film. And you can't just throw them out because you don't like them. They're still officially part of the Star Wars story, as is the Christmas special, even though it was universally ridiculed. Like, you might not like the Disney era Star Wars, but it's still officially part of the official canon of Star Wars, just as much as the High Republic era stuff is. Deep Space Nine, The Next Generation, Star Trek Voyager, Star Trek Discovery, Strange New Worlds, Lower Decks. These are all official Star Trek canon, even though Roddenberry has been gone for decades. It doesn't have anything to do with modern Star Trek. It's still official Star Trek content. So headcanon doesn't magically just make all this stuff disappear. So yeah, headcanon is not fact. Great statement. And I love expounding upon that more because so many people want to think their headcanon is somehow factual. And it's like, no, your headcanon has no basis in fact. Matter of fact, it doesn't even have any basis in actual copyright or intellectual property law. When it comes to how these franchises are managed, which is why fan fiction, you can write all the fan fiction you want, but one of the reasons that companies will go after fan fiction so many times is because it's not official. And when you have a company who is actively governing the franchise with official content, this is why I don't permit people to talk about emulators on any of my channels or in my Discord, because emulators directly break intellectual property law because they are promoting an unofficial, illegal version of something that is still protected under copyright law. And I, as someone with 25 million words in print and various publications to my name and video games published and etc., I very much defend copyright law and intellectual property law because it's a very important part of protecting my works as a creative, as an author, as a game developer, and so on and so forth. So yeah, headcanon, definitely not fact. Yeah, we covered that earlier, Layla. I've got a YouTube clip that'll come out later today. Yeah, that's especially true with like Forgotten Realms, Dragonlance, Star Trek, Star Wars. There have been so many authors who have worked in those worlds that the canon can go all over the place. I love Dragonlance Phantom for sure. I love it more than Forgotten Realms.
I'm Murine. If you have any secrets, I'm the one to tell. I won't share them with anyone but my family. Unless they're good ones, that is. I see you've done quite a bit of work to track me down. Yes, I orchestrated it. Syl deserves to die a painful death for turning on all of us and consorting with our enemies. Go ahead, do what you will. Nothing matters now. Bye.
Yeah, I was disappointed when the live action series got canceled, Phantom. I was like so excited, and then they were like, "Nope, we're not going to do it anyway." And it's like, no, the Dragonlance live action series would have been so cool. Why did you have to cancel it? I could get behind a movie trilogy, Phantom, for sure. One movie for each book. That'd be so much fun.
Speak quickly, mortal.
God, I probably could have fast traveled and done this more quickly. Well, they are technically, Weiss and Hickman have been writing new Dragonlance content. I've not read any of the new stuff, but they are actively, they just finished up a new trilogy, and I believe they're working on another one now as well.
What news do you have to report, Inquisitor? Have you found who is responsible? Is that so? I shall have her brought to the torture chamber at once. Meet me there shortly. You've confessed to attempting to kill me, I understand. The penalty for this treachery is death, and is to be carried out immediately. You see now what happens when those who oppose me fail, which they always do. I'm pleased with your work, Inquisitor. As a token of my appreciation, I shall spare your life and make you a courtier of dementia. In addition, accept this bow. May your enemies fear you and never know from where or with what enchantment you shall strike. Bye.
Whoa, I just got something added to my inventory. It said Ruin's Edge. A bow. Not as good as the bow I have. It says random spell effect on strike. But the damage is way less. Well, I don't know where that heebie-jeebie shake just came from. That was weird. Alright, now to learn about the Realm of Mania.
Greetings. Welcome to the House of Mania.
The Resonator of Judgment has saved us.
Speak, sister.
Yes? Ah, yes, there you are. You couldn't imagine how long I've been waiting for you. So little to do and so much time. Could you, in fact, imagine just how long I've been waiting? I don't think you could, but I might be wrong. Or I might also not care. Which is it?
You haven't waited long at all.
Haven't I? Perhaps not. It felt like rather a long time, but then long times get longer when you're standing around thinking about them. A curious thing that. Long roads get longer too, if you're thinking about them. But what about long words? They don't change nearly as much. Long, short. It all ends up the same. Dust and tears. Usually tears first, then the dust. Dust can't cry, you see. That would be, well, amusing. You know what's not amusing? I don't have my chalice of reversal. It makes me sad. When I get sad, I don't care to do much of anything. I certainly don't care to help people who show up on my doorstep wanting something. Are we getting the picture here? Oh, so you've heard of it. You haven't heard of it, yet you know its name. What a strange creature you are. One of my favorite toys. Does wonders for creativity. Well, not by itself, but it helps. Those elytra. Clever little bugs that they are. Is this making sense? Look, you eat the Feldu, then use the chalice, and find the world a much brighter and happier place. Honest.
Jerks are bad, kids.
I don't have it, so I can't eat Feldu, because that would just be bad. I mean, really bad. Damn her! We hold on to fleeting things even as we slip. I knew, and yet I indulged myself anyway. I indulged her a fair bit, too. It was passion. It was forbidden. Oh, the things that would be said if word got out. That made it all the more delicious. From Dementia's own court, no less. Scandalous. Fatal, perhaps. But passion makes no accommodation for self-preservation.
Okay.
Opposites repel, strangely
What happened?
enough. All that pleasure and pain locked away now as if it never happened. Unfortunately, the chalice is locked away as well. I have no wish to retrieve it myself, but fetching it might do you some good. My head is positively throbbing now. Can you see it? I need to lie down. Find someone to tell you the rest of the story. Get the chalice.
Addiction. Alright, is there anybody else in this region? He says find someone else here or in Sill's court who can tell us more.
Feel free to take what you need. The fruits of the conservatory are for all to enjoy.
You're kind of creepy looking.
New Sheoth is the capital of the Shivering Isles. We Oriole guard Bliss, the manic district of the city. Sheogorath rules the Shivering Isles. We, the Oriole, are his favored soldiers, the most perfect expression of his might. Go. Welcome to the Halcyon Conservatory.
Apparently I need to find somebody to talk to who can tell me more about the chalice. Wow, I already have that quest. I was already working on that. Shit, I already sold some amber.
Duma Grobonk at the missing pauldron is collecting that amber you find in the root tunnel. Speak, madman.
Madman. Chalice of Reversal.
Not my place to talk about it. You need to know, you talk to Wide-Eye.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Who's Wide-Eye?
You've been speaking to Thaden, I can tell. He has a certain effect on people. Did he mention me, perhaps? Or was there something else you wanted to discuss?
There's an interesting interview with the developers from Clair Obscur, and they're talking about how they recognize the fact that the dodge and parry system needs some work. They don't explicitly say that they're going to be addressing it in an upcoming patch, but they recognize that it is frustrating to many people. So I'm interested to see if that bears any fruit, because I do love the game, but I'm not willing to go back and play much of it unless they adjust the story mode, because it's just too much. Happy Friday! What's up, Rated RK? It's Friday.
This better be good.
So there's a meme in Spanish on the Mexican TikTok. I don't know if it's on like US TikTok, but it's basically, it says it's Friday and the body knows it. And so es viernes y el cuerpo sabe. And so there's all these memes when it's the weekend. Oh, what did I get for breakfast? That's fine. Breakfast burritos, everybody, with Greek yogurt on top. It's now time for the ASMR mug. Oh shit! I'm losing. No! I forgot. I got sidetracked. Down and.
I like that. A lot. It's good. Oh, blah, blah, blah.
That was
What
bad.
more?
I got sidetracked with food. Yeah, it's down and over. Okay.
Where'd you get that? That's good. You're pathetic. Oh, nice. It's good of you. You're pathetic. You're Where'd you get that? That's good. I like. That's blah, blah, blah. What? That's great. You can't. Don't make me laugh. It's good. That's really funny. Don't make me. Where'd you get that? That's good. That's just talk. I like you too. Don't make. Where'd you get that? That's just. I like you too. You're good.
I almost had to bribe her. I almost got in trouble.
I don't ask too many questions of Thaden. It's precious to him, and that's all that matters. It's his own business. But didn't he mention where it is? Oh, I see. How brilliant of him.
That's good.
This is for you
That's
as
hot.
much as it is for him. Oh, very good, Thaden. Dunroot Burrow is your goal, my friend. And what a goal
Dunroot
it
Burrow.
is. You don't understand. This isn't just about the chalice. This is about you. We must discuss Dunroot Burrow. Yes, a most unique place. Of course the chalice would be there. Don't you see? It's the Elytra. They're the reason. The chalice.
What are the Elytra?
Feldu. Elytra. It's all connected. One without the others is no good. Poison. Oh, a rough road awaits you. Some Elytra there are different. You'll need to get Feldu from them and eat it. Can't get in without it.
No.
But
I'm gonna have to
once
go on
you
a
do,
peyote trip.
He wants you to learn for yourself. Learn, grow, experience. It's his way. I shouldn't say more. But the burrow, it's northeast of New Sheoth. Go there. Take the Feldu from the Elytra. Eat it, and your journey begins. You will be thankful to Thaden when this has passed.
Okay.
Well, perhaps Thaden would want you to have a bit more guidance. He did say that you should talk to me, did he not?
Yes, he did.
Feldu is a poison, little one, a very dangerous drug. You'll feel good at first, but that wears off. And if you go long without it, you'll suffer. See you later.
Okay. I probably can't fast travel from in here. Oh, I haven't been anywhere in that direction. We're gonna have to go out on foot. Because I came around the other side when I came into town. Gotta get yourselves a paid actress wife, everybody. Because my paid actress treats me like a king. She's expensive, though.
What?
And she did something different with her burrito mix this time. And that is fucking fire, man. Tasty, tasty. Paid actresses have to eat too. Very true. Hang on, something's trying to attack me. Something that's invisible. Oh, shit on me! Wasn't expecting him to jump on me. That was scary. Woo! That almost could have been bad. Thankfully it fell on my plate, not on my lap. Dangers of eating in your office. Alright, we just basically need to follow the road up. Because I'm probably going to want to unlock a bunch of these waypoints along the way. Alright, I'm going to go drop my plate off in the kitchen. And then we'll be back. I'm going to see if there's any more coffee, too. Alright, I got sidetracked playing Musical Cats. Alright, we've got about an hour and a half left, and then I'm going to take a break and go run errands with Chris. I'm trying to think about the rest of the day today. Rather than play Days Gone this afternoon, which I may still do, I've got a bunch of... We need to watch the Borderlands 4 video. I need to watch the Star Wars Zero Company panel. So we may just do like a reaction video stream. I thought about doing it yesterday afternoon, and I ended up getting sidetracked with Chris and doing stuff last night. Yeah. Matter of fact, we may just go watch that Borderlands 4 video here in a few minutes. I think it's like 20 minutes long or something. It's from the State of Play that happened the other day. And I don't actually, I've never played a lot of the Borderlands games. I did play Borderlands 3 around maybe 2-3 years ago. Didn't play the first two though. But it looks like it's gonna be fun. I'm gonna follow the road. So who knows what I'll find along the way. Oh my goodness. Are you just happy that you're inside the house right now? I don't know if I can show this. She's just spazzing out over here. Chasing her tail. There she goes. She's just going nuts because she got to come inside. Yep, there she goes. Tail chasing. That cat is such a spaz. She's like, I got to be inside. Yeah. I've got Greebles in my house. She's hunting them. Yeah, this is Blanca Nieve. And when we got her, her name made way more sense because we had 7 other cats when she got adopted. So it was Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs. And we've since lost a couple of cats, so it's no longer it's no longer as lore accurate as it was when she was first adopted. Madness bow matrix, okay. I think I missed the turn off. Oh no, it's just up ahead. Alright, we're almost there. Fuck you. Those guys suck. What is it with all these jumping critters, man? That Fish said finally finished up Blueprints. You know, it looked fun, but I'm not in the mood to do a puzzle game right now. The membrane cannot be moved by hand? Well, I don't know what that means. I have to ingest. I see. What's up, Saul? Saul's hanging out for a bit, he says. Nice. I have no idea which way I'm going. It said I need to take more of the stuff, but I'm ignoring it for the moment if I can. Hang on, though. That was just a circle. It's really wanting to make me take this drug. Because now it's like it's wounding me. Fuck am I going? There was somehow something up top that I missed. It's not a clickbait title at all, Valkron. If you were part of the conversation, you would know that this has ruined gaming because it's shown all the companies that are out there that remasters of old games are more successful than new titles. And it shows that once again, Bethesda wins with everything they do. No, it's not a agree or disagree situation. It's simple facts. That's incorrect. Bethesda very much took care of it and oversaw it, paid for it. So even though another company was involved, it's still a Bethesda project. If you want to get really technical about it and granular, it's a Microsoft project. I'm going to have to take some of this Go Juice because my stats are so low now. This is hilarious. I'm like, no, I don't want to take your drug. I know, Completionist, that's the thing. Oblivion has ruined modern games because I can't put it down. I only want to play this. It's the only thing I'm interested in playing right now. So it's ruined gaming because I don't want to play anything else. Oh, is that the chamber I'm looking for? Yay! Oh, Valkron, are we gonna have to ban you? Starfield is crap. They've lost their edge lately. I miss the old BioWare. Sounds like we've got a crybaby in chat, everybody. See, so I told you guys. I told you the titling of these videos would work for our multi-streams on YouTube and Twitch. This has been the great social experiment over the past few days using these fun titles, because we get people like Valcron74 who's going to come in here and cry that Bethesda's crap. I hate Bethesda. Remember what was it, guys? Earlier today, it was. I'm looking at the timestamp here. The 1 hour mark. We were talking about the crybabies who can't accept that the company still makes great games, and they just want to sit in their basement and fap to the idea of the old Bethesda, and they refuse to admit that Bethesda still makes good games. Starfield was the most commercially successful of all of Bethesda's projects, and the fact that Starfield did so well means that it was a great project, a great product. It was not crap. It was the most successful project and product that Bethesda has done to date. And it will continue to do well for Bethesda as they continue to roll out updates for Starfield. So those kind of sentiments, this goes back to what we were talking about last night, guys, in that video we did about how when fans of an IP or fans of a franchise aren't really fans, because they claim things that just aren't true because they have emotional reactions. Yeah, exactly, Liv M. Everybody enjoyed Starfield. There were little, rough around the edges things, which any game has, but it was still an amazing title that has brought joy to millions of players around the world. Look, monetarily it did great, but I guarantee you the next statement out of Valcron 74's mouth is going to be, but critically it didn't do well. You could just look at the Steam numbers. Just look at the ratings here. Look at what, what's his name? Look at what Luke Stevens said. Look at what Matty Gaming had to say. Look at what my favorite YouTube gamer, my favorite streamer who hates Bethesda. Look at what they said about the game. This is hilarious. This is exactly the type of troll we wanted to bait into our videos with the titles we've been using recently. This is fucking amazing. Oh, I'm Dave Chappelle. Gotcha, bitch! Bethesda's not good anymore. Bethesda doesn't know how to make games. Bethesda hasn't made a good game since Fallout 4. Skyrim is the best Bethesda game. Starfield sucks. All you're doing is white knighting, says Valcron74. No, buddy, what I'm doing is I'm enjoying video games. Because that's what they are. They're an enjoyment. They are a luxury. You live in the first world. You don't have to worry about clean water. You don't have to worry about air conditioning. Oh, no one likes me. Sorry, buddy. The fact that I get paid to play games full time suggests otherwise, Valcron74. No one liked you and you got fired? I'm not sure what you're talking about. Clearly, you're smoking something that the rest of us aren't. But this is the funniest thing ever. So, white knighting, when you play a video game and you just enjoy a video game, people want to claim that you're white knighting. But it's just, you're just enjoying a video game. Oh, Hector, we can absolutely say that the experiment worked. We can assume that school is out earlier today. Yeah, Valcron74 is proof that school got out earlier today. Got home, ran down to his mom's basement, safe in the shelter of his anonymity, where he can't get bitch slapped for being a little troll. I'm gonna come on YouTube and Twitch, and I'm gonna make stupid comments. I'm gonna make myself feel good about myself. Bethesda sucks. Oh, you got fired from your game studio. No, I didn't, buddy. No, I didn't. You know nothing. This is the funniest shit ever. I don't know what's worse, he says. Your vastly receding hairline or the love of bad games. Well, it's one of those things. They can't think for themselves, Metroid says. I know. Low IQ normies regurgitating what their favorite content creator says is hilarious. I fully agree. The fact that he's here continuing to comment just proves my point, and he's making my paycheck for me. Like, he's literally commenting. Every comment is a click. Every comment is an algorithm boost. It's money in my bank account. I win. Exactly, Hector. With that, the idiot has lost the argument. That's because they don't know how to do anything other than to lose arguments. Yeah, the moment that gets personal, they lose. Exactly. The moment a troll attacks you personally, they've already lost whatever footing they had because they don't know how to make an actual reasonable argument. Your receding hairline. Buddy, I'm old. You want to see what else I have? Check this out. I got a bald spot. Check that shit out. Your mom loves it, though. She was tickling it last night. Running her fingers through it and just saying, oh, baby, it's so smooth. It's like a little fresh egg. Make sure you say thanks to your mom on the way out of your basement looking for your Cheetos, buddy. I'll be here all day. Welcome to the shit show, Wolf Shield. Gotcha, bitch. That's hilarious. I think he railed and bailed. Just typical. His mommy probably called him upstairs to tell him lunch was ready, so he had to leave his basement. Love it. Well, here you go, Valkron. This is just for you, buddy. This is open mic night.
Strong hand, fist of iron, judgment falls. Hearts are dying, banhammer strikes. Tears like rain, justice served. Feel their pain.
Just like a cat has to play with her food, I gotta play with the trolls from time to time, kids. Oh, I think I'm gonna die to the poison. I'm gonna have to take some drugs, aren't I? Alright, I didn't want to take the drugs, but I have to take the drugs. Nope, I have not done a reaction to the Borderlands 4 stuff yet. I think the best part about getting old is not giving a shit about like I start my streams every single morning at like what 4:30 in the morning, and I've been doing this for years. I come to the streams waiting, and it's literally Bedhead and Bedbeard. I used to do a YouTube short series that was literally called Bedhead Bedbeard. I just roll right into the streams first thing in the morning. There's no makeup. There's no nothing. It's like literally just here I am. Let's get it done. There's no fucking. I'm not running a comb through my hair. I could give two shits. I've been receding hairline for like 10 years. I got a bald spot. It's like, yeah, bitch, I'm old. What else you got? Like, like the fact that some people think that's an insult. It's just the funniest shit ever. Kids, man. Fucking kids. I can't come up with an actual insult, so I'm gonna insult your hairline. Buddy. My hairline's been insulting me for 10 years. Gotta keep up. Gotta keep up if you're gonna play in the big leagues, kiddos. Alright, apparently I took a wrong turn somewhere. I need to go right here. Keep going straight. How did I miss it? I was just down here. Oh, there was a door here I didn't see. Out of the way. Wonder if they're gonna follow me through the door, though, is the problem. No? Okay. You know, the problem with trolls isn't that they're young, it's also that their IQ is so low, they can't formulate an actual argument for anything. Like it always results in insults. They can't do anything other than insult because their little brains can't fabricate anything other than insults. It's like you're going back to the when you're kids, I know you are, but what am I? That's literally the IQ of a troll. I know you are, but what am I? Like that's what you deal with when you're dealing with trolls. There's no IQ behind it whatsoever. Oh, we need to figure out a way. see anything that curves around yet, but this might be it. Unfortunately, some people make it to adulthood and keep that low IQ, so it's not even an age thing, like I said. A lot of times it's just they've gone through their whole lives being nothing more than wage slaves and clock punchers, and just sipping down mochachinos from Starbucks and chewing Copenhagen and pickup trucks, gasoline, petroleum, America. And all that brain rot has allowed them to get into their 30s and 40s, and unfortunately, they never matured beyond that 5-year-old mentality. You know what they say, drugs are bad, kid. Drugs are bad. Sanctum of Decadence.
What?
Take care. Hi.
I heard the gauntlets of the Crusader are gone from the chapel in Coral.
Take care.
Well, well.
Oh shit, these are
Look who
gonna
we've
attack
got
us.
here.
Alright, hold up. I'm gonna reload. I didn't realize they were gonna attack. They didn't look aggro.
They say that Kinnereth granted them food.
Where are you? Where?
Do I just steal the chalice? It's just sitting there.
Greetings.
I heard that the gauntlets of the Crusader are gone from the chapel.
Now, do I have to make my way out of here, I wonder? Or is there another exit? There may be another exit. Let's wait and see. Shit, she's gonna come up here. I can't get.
He was here a second ago.
Oh, I missed.
Get out! Get out!
Oh, I missed the spell. Oh, he disarmed me. That's a first.
Get out! Get out!
I've never been disarmed before. That was kind of cool. I didn't know you could do that. I didn't know that you could be disarmed. Learn something new every day. Ooh, laced leather pants. Kinky. Alright, can I use the chalice? Cannot equip this item. What's up, Babylonia? Alright, can I get out of here using, like... Oh, there is a door over here, maybe. This would be brilliant. If I don't have to go back through those stupid caves. Feldu is the PCP of the Shattered Realms. Just a little bit.
What's that?
Why die for a false god?
Shit, wrong spell. Shit, did you just summon something? Oh no, I think that thing summoned it. Oh shit, are we fighting more than one? I'm glad I saved the game. I'm gonna die a horrible death. So I'm guessing that thing summons more of those guys. I think I just need to bail out of here and get back to Shigarath. Or back to the Mania dude with the chalice. Run! Run! Here you go, sir. Here's your chalice.
Hi, triumphant champion returns. So, do you feel any different? Now that you've been through this experience, I mean. You know what it's like now. Always wanting that next fix. Hating it, but craving it at the same time, and hating yourself for all of it. Ah well, all over now. The chalice helps, doesn't it? Indeed it does. And I could use some helping right now. I'll just take that back from you. And as a token of my gratitude, I grant you the role of Courtier Mania with all of its entitlements.
Nice.
Which is to say, none.
You bastard! Alright, now I need to report to Shigarath. Shigarath.
Welcome to the House of Mania.
Shigarath. I'm never gonna pronounce it properly.
Welcome to...
Always a pleasure. Well, well, you've experienced both shades of madness. Wonderful. You seem fulfilled. Full of fill. Burden at the seams. Seamless. Now, to the meat of your endeavor. The crux of the situation. The reason for your being here. And the likely cause of your death.
What do you mean?
You'll be stopping the Grey March. Altering the course of events. Breaking the cycle. A fly in the ointment. A new cause for a different effect. We're going to change things. No! Things will be different this time around. You'll be my champion. You'll grow powerful. You'll grow to be... me. Prince of Madness.
Hey man, as long as I get a beard like that, I'll be happy to do whatever you need, sir. That head of hair with that beard, because you gotta know, you know. We gotta get rid of that bald spot, right? And that receding hairline. Billy Connolly? That's who you're thinking of, Ted? How can I be a
fair
dangerous
question.
prince?
You won't really. At least I don't think so. But you'll have power. My power. Try not to lose it. It's a pain to replace.
What's up, JP?
But for all intents and purposes, you'll be me. A me to fight the him, since I won't be around. It's simple, really, if you don't think about it. Because you seem a nice enough sort, and you've made it this far. And if you don't, I'll swallow your soul and vomit it into the ever-filling chamber pot of the ageless. But mostly because I asked nicely. Well, not here. Didn't I say that? I'm never here when Jiggalag walks. It's one of the rules. I've told you too much for now. Listen to me. Prattle on. I can see your mortal brain straining. We'll talk more later.
So what's
now,
next?
You've seen the great torch that
It's
burns
definitely
brightly
Argonian
over
oil.
Lucia. No, because it doesn't. It should, but it doesn't. You'll fix that. You'll go to Sylarn and bring back the Flame of Agnon to relight the torch. Oh, and take care with my minions at Sylarn. In their eternal quest to please me, they're constantly fighting over Sylarn. It can be tiresome, but really, it's divine. Divinely tiresome. Well, that's your problem now. Off with you. I don't want to see you again until the great torch is lit. I wouldn't want to have to hurt you much. Oh, don't forget to make use of dear Haskell. Between you and me, if he's not summoned 3 or 4 times a day, I don't think he feels appreciated. Come visit again, or I'll pluck out your eyes!
I'll pluck out your eyes! Alright, we're gonna go watch that Borderlands video, guys. Hang on, I got to get stuff set up.
Always a pleasure. Always.
Hang on, I gotta find a place to start this video. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Okay. There we go. Alright, it's gonna go black for a second because I gotta tab over and do this. And do that. And then put that over here. And come back to that. And then grab my notebook. This is Borderlands 4. Deep dive. So this video came out, I think 2 days ago. It's the Borderlands 4 State of Play Deep Dive. It's about 20 minutes long. I've not watched this yet. I'm not intimately familiar with the Borderlands games. I have played Borderlands 3 several years ago. That was my first entry into the series. It was a fun sort of looter shooter with some quirky, like, comedy. I haven't watched the film. Like I said, I'm not deep into the franchise. I'm just familiar with it. And I do want to play the one that's coming up because it's a brand new game. It's one of the September games we can play. This will be a great one to play on the PS5. So I'm as interested as everyone else to learn more about Borderlands 4 from this deep dive. So we're going to sit here and take a look at this and learn more about Borderlands 4, which I believe is coming out sometime in September, if I'm not mistaken. All this footage is on PS5 Pro. JP says the film was really bad.
Is a vault hunter.
This is a killer. A brute. A rule-breaking, loot-taking, running and gunning natural disaster. You are, in a word,
oh, that's cool.
Mayhem. I take
Ooh, I like the look of his character a lot. I love the art style. Blow shit up together. Oh, they've got vehicles?
Be advised, a citywide curfew has been enacted. Violators will be shot on sight.
Okay.
Heyo! I'm Randy Pitchford, founder of Gearbox Entertainment. Today, we're giving you our deepest look yet at Borderlands 4. All the excitement, loot, and gnarly carnage all running on PlayStation 5 Pro.
Since creating the looter-shooter genre nearly 16 years ago, we've continued to refine the formula, delivering better loot, greater freedom, and endless mayhem.
It looks
with
amazing.
Borderlands 4, we've pushed things even further.
This is hands down our best Borderlands ever. All new movement,
Grapple
abilities, bigger and badder enemies, and a brand new planet. All in service of making you feel like a total badass.
It's the perfect entry point for new players, with incredible new places and a great story. And for our longtime Borderlands fans, we're throwing back to our more grounded tone, while pushing gameplay ahead further than ever before. This is the culmination of years of hard work from my teammates across the Gearbox studios.
Yeah.
So enough talk, let's get it. This is Borderlands 4.
A ton of variety in mobs, it looks like, which is nice.
Borderlands is an unforgiving sci-fi universe where life is cheap and guns are plentiful.
I mean, I would love...
You play as a Vault Hunter, a badass mercenary with powerful abilities called action skills.
Today I'm playing as Vex, our new siren.
Okay.
She wields supernatural phase energy to devastating effect. She can use that energy to empower
Right,
herself,
Babylonia, more grounded tone.
or channel it
sure.
to conjure deadly minions that fight alongside her.
And
I remember
because
Borderlands 3 when I
everything's
played it,
better in
had a lot of
co-op, I'm joining as
slapstick
Rafa,
sarcasm.
a former TDR soldier who wears an experimental exosuit.
This guy
He can
sounds cool,
deconstruct an
the
arsenal of
exosuit.
weapons, like the razor-sharp arc knives.
Yeah, I think that'll be
These
what I
are
wanna
two
play.
of our 4 new Vault Hunters that you can play at launch.
Borderlands 4 takes place on Kairos, an all-new planet steeped in conflict. For thousands of years, the Timekeeper kept the planet hidden, controlling its inhabitants with bolts, cybernetic implants fused to their spines. Anyone who stepped out of line was brutally crushed by his army of synthetic soldiers known as the Order.
That is until 6 years ago when Elpis showed up. This rogue moon was teleported away from Pandora at the end of Borderlands 3 by the legendary Vault Hunter, Lilith. When it reappeared across the galaxy, it crashed into the protective veil around Kairos.
Okay.
The results were devastating. A planet-wide cataclysmic event that disrupted the Timekeeper's perfect order.
All right.
Now people all across Kairos have started rising up, some even ripping out their bolts, and chunks of their brain along with it.
Here it comes!
That's the situation our Vault Hunters have crash landed into. A planet ready to explode, and you're the spark. As you explore, you'll meet a cast of incredible characters. Fan favorites return, like Zane and Moxie. You'll also meet new friends like Rush.
And as always, Claptrap is along for the ride.
Last but not least is Echo 4. This helpful drone follows you everywhere, hacking order tech, scanning the environment, and helping guide you to objectives.
God, that looks awesome.
But enough of all that. Let's get into the game.
I'm just glad that it has like a story, but it has a story to it. It's not
Thanks to our
just
improved
a
lobby
multiplayer
system,
looter
it's
shooter.
easier than ever to join up with your friends on the fly. And with full crossplay at launch, you can play with your friends on any
Full
platform.
crossplay at launch, salute.
Today, we're venturing into Terminus Range, a frigid, mountainous region.
Yeah, it looks great, Phantom X. Nicholas says I'd like Borderlands 1 and 2.
Explore.
I don't have time to play,
There's
but I
next
would
to no
happily go
loading
watch
time, just
some
endless looting
recaps.
and shooting mayhem.
For our current mission, we need to break into a secret black site located deep in the mountains. One of the Timekeeper's generals, Vile Lichter, has been conducting grotesque experiments on locals. It's up to us to stop him.
All right, let's get moving. Here I'm using Glide, one of our new movement abilities. Along with dash, double jump, climbing, and point grapple, these make getting around more fun and add a ton of utility to combat.
As you traverse, you'll uncover a vast and beautiful world.
Okay,
And to
that
bring
glide
Kairos to
ability is
life,
pretty
We've
dope.
introduced dynamic weather and events,
Dynamic
so you
weather.
constantly have new things to discover.
There's also plenty of local wildlife to contend with, like these Kratch, flying beasts who attack in flocks.
Here we've come across a silo, one of several new activities in Borderlands 4.
You'll naturally discover short gameplay experiences like this all across Kairos. There's no need to pick up a mission first. These are auto-granted and tracked on your HUD.
Perfect, so there's just
Silos
proximity
house old,
based.
decommissioned order tech that you can hijack for the Crimson Resistance.
With the help of Echo 4, we'll hack into their network and release the communications balloon.
I'm loving the UI. JP says some people have said getting used to the compass is different because they used to have a mini map. Having not played a lot of the previous games, I like the compass layout personally.
Now that we're in
I'm
charge,
fine with
we can
that.
fast travel to the silo. And as a bonus, it's revealed the approximate location of a vault key fragment. We can collect these fragments to unlock a hidden vault.
Sweet.
A high-level dungeon with challenging combat and serious loot.
Let's get after it.
I know what we're playing in September. This ought to give us a couple weeks of fun.
Another nice thing about silos is you can zip line up and take off.
Oh, that was dope. The traversal looks freaking
Enough
amazing.
for you, you can always pull out your personal vehicle.
What? Okay,
Just hop
that's like
on, hit
Destiny
boost, and get
2.
rolling.
You can customize the body, paint job, and even how it handles.
And because this is Borderlands, you best believe it has guns.
Yeah, this is like a cool Destiny 2 kind of
As you
vibe
traverse,
too with
you'll
the
encounter
vehicles.
a host of dynamic events. From order patrols to world bosses, there's always something to shoot and loot.
Wow, I'm getting more excited for this than I previously was. If this has a really good campaign, JP says the campaign for 3
We're
was
coming
about
up on an
72
order
hours.
outpost.
Really?
Let's see the new movement abilities in action.
I mean, I don't think I finished 3. I remember playing 3, but I never finished it. That's a long campaign. You got shields plus armor, it looks
Chaining
like.
our new traversal abilities together makes combat more dynamic than ever. You can dash in and out of melee attacks, dodge projectiles, or quickly reposition to gain an advantage.
Oh, the grapple. Oh, and he chucked something at him. Headshot. It's a grenade. Oh, that looks fucking smooth as silk. Oh, that's a grapple point. Fuck yeah, the combat looks dope.
Now I know that there's a vault fragment around here somewhere, but we've got a mission to get back to. Let's pull out Echo 4 to show us where to go.
We're meeting up with none other than the Tigra Partali herself, Amara. She's a former Vault Hunter and exotic pet sitter from Borderlands 3.
Nothing wrong with that, JP. Like, if it's fun, I'm all about the side
now
quests.
helping us take down the Timekeeper.
I've lost a lot of hours in Destiny 2. I haven't played it for several years.
Don't you whine at me, Hermes. We'll play in a moment, huh? Ugh, you agree to pet sit for a few weeks, and the next thing you know, you're having full conversations with animals.
You don't use security like that unless you've got something to hide. This must be the path to the black side.
Agreed. But if Lilith is on the other side, I don't mind some property destruction.
Oh, she's hot.
Ooh, your specialty. Please, be my guest.
Come, let's throw some light on this black site of his.
It's whatever I want it to be, Jazz.
Co-op has
Phantom
always
says love the
been at
grappling
heart of
mechanic and the gliding. I
and
know.
we put a ton of work into making it
great.
better than ever. Our improved lobby was just the start. You can also set your own campaign difficulty independently of the rest of the party.
Oh.
This way, everyone can tune the experience to their liking.
That's cool.
And you don't have to worry about looting and just stealing your drops.
I gotta pause for a
always
second, guys.
instant
Did
for
you
each player.
that feature that they just said? You can customize your own difficulty independent of other people in your party so that you're each getting a customized experience while you're multiplaying together during the co-op campaign. That is freaking cool, and that's a really interesting scaling thing. I would love to know more about how they programmed that in. That's really cool. I guess it's kind of like what game? I guess World of Warcraft kind of does it that way with the level scaling, because anybody can join dungeons, whether they're level 70 or level 1 or 10 or whatever, and they all go into the same dungeon. So I guess it's probably the same tech that they're doing. That's really, really cool for crossplay.
Plus, if you ever get split up, you can easily fast travel to your friends.
And two-player split screen returns so you can enjoy couch co-op. Regardless of how you play, we just want you to be able
Metro,
to hang
everybody
with your
playing
buddies
together
and have a
regardless
great
of the
time.
skill level.
What the hell is that?
Dude, I'm gonna lose my soul to this in September. This looks freaking awesome.
Everyone else heard the talking creep, right?
Tim feels like the product of Lictor's twisted mind. Another of his
They have to kill Tim.
experiments.
No!
If he's doing this to creeps, I shudder to think what he's
Gears
doing
of War
to
did it
Lilith.
too. I don't really have a lot of
We need
familiarity
to get
with
inside.
Gears of War either. There's
That
another
air
Gears
vent.
of War game
Let's check
coming
it out.
this year, I think, on Xbox. Which I'll be playing because I need to. I've only ever played one of those games, and I can't remember which one it was, and it was
Hermes
Xbox
is really
360.
creeped out in here. Not me, obviously. Hermes.
Now that we're in the black site, let's take a moment to talk about loot.
Oh, look at that UI.
In Borderlands 4, each piece of gear comes from one of 8 manufacturers with their own characteristics and trademarks. There's Jacobs, with crit-friendly black powder weapons, the elemental expertise of Maliwan, Vladoff, who solve lower accuracy with more bullets, the toss to reload Tedior, or Torg with explosions! We also have 3 new ones. The Order, with powerful charge and release blasts, fully auto rippers, and the reliable, easy-to-use Daedalus, which can use multiple ammo types.
But that's just the start. We've introduced an all-new licensed parts system. This allows for behaviors and abilities from multiple manufacturers to spawn in a single weapon.
Okay.
For instance, this flat-off assault rifle features a Torg mag, Hyperion shield, and a Maliwan elemental switch, meaning it shoots fast and explodes things. The higher the rarity, the more parts that can randomly spawn, creating wilder and wilder loot.
And that's before even getting into alt-fire modes, underbarrels, and elemental damage.
The possibilities are truly endless.
I mean, I've seen
To
arc
support playing with your
raiders. I'm not
favorite
really into
manufacturer,
extraction
we've added
shooters,
enhancements. This new type of gear replaces artifacts and provides bonuses to specific manufacturers. Take my current enhancement. It adds a kill bonus to all guns with deadless parts, along with more reload speed
I like
and
games that
critical
have
damage.
like stories. This has like a
This lets you
campaign and an
min-max
actual
your build
story.
around your favorite
Kind of like
manufacturer,
Destiny 2
immediately
has an
turning
actual
just okay
story, so
guns
that
into
appeals to me.
amazing weapons.
I haven't seen anything about arc raiders about
Finally,
it having like a story.
we've heard your feedback, and we've
I know it
overhauled
has a
our drop
setting,
rates and loot across the
but
game.
I haven't
We've
looked
worked
into it
hard
that
to make
much
sure
because it's
all our
being
gear feels
described
better
as an
than ever,
extraction
while
shooter,
also making rarity
and I don't
matter
really
again. This makes for our most
go for
satisfying
those because they
loot
don't
chase
have
ever.
stories behind them.
And at the top of everything are legendaries. These have always had unique effects that you won't find on any other
I could be
piece of
wrong. I
gear.
haven't looked into it that much.
But in Borderlands 3, they drop too often. This not only devalued legendaries, it made everything feel less valuable. In our new system, not only do all guns feel great, but now legendaries will truly be special events.
Yeah, the UI for this looks
We've
amazing.
added the magic back to our loot chase, and we know you'll love grinding all that great gear on Kairos.
But let's get back to combat so I can show you my favorite thing, Ordnance. This is the new gear slot for grenades and heavy weapons like rocket launchers. Instead of taking up a gun slot and ammo, Ordnance now has cooldown timers. No more saving the big guns for boss fights. Now you can blow stuff up as often as you want.
Before we go further, let's talk a little bit about action skills. Every Vault Hunter has a set of 3 unique action skills. These are class-defining abilities with devastating effects. Up until now, I'd been using Incarnate to deliver powerful phase blasts. But let's switch it up to Phase Familiar and pull out Trouble. As you can see, each action skill has its own branching skill tree, giving you more build freedom than ever before. On top of passive skills, you can further customize action skills with augments and capstones. These are socketed enhancements that add new behaviors and functions to your action skill.
Oh, there's gonna be a lot of
different builds completely change how combat
build
plays
fun
out,
here.
resulting in near endless freedom to experiment.
Yeah.
You can swap unlock augments or capstones on the fly, or completely respec your skill trees at hubs around Kairos.
This gives us a chance to talk about traits. Each Vault Hunter has a unique passive ability called a trait. For Vex, her action skills attune to the element of her equipped weapon. So by swapping guns, I can change Trouble's damage from kinetic to shock, fire,
On the fly,
or any
even.
other elemental type.
That's cool.
And also, you can pet the cat.
Dead end. Or is it? Let's see where this vent takes us. Gods. Are those test tubes?
This looks like a damn good time. This also makes me wish there was a Star Wars game like this. I think the closest was that
I'm
Clone
down.
Wars.
But thankfully, our fight
Star
for
Wars
your life
Commando,
mechanic
I
makes a
think.
return.
That's
of
a long
course,
time
I
ago.
could have avoided it in the first place if I had just used my ref kit. This new piece of gear provides health and other buffs, like temporarily boosting my elemental damage, rate of fire, or movement speed.
I'm almost afraid to ask what's in the tube.
Oh, look at these guys. Are those crystals growing out of them?
By the way, if you're looking to experience the story again or just grind for loot, we've added full mission and boss replay. That's right, no more save loading to run bosses. Now you can return to the arena and use Moxie's big encore machine to spawn another run.
Cool.
But we'll talk more about endgame later. For now, let's jump ahead and show you something truly badass.
Yeah,
In
crap
Borderlands
boss.
4, our bosses are bigger and better than ever, putting all your new skills, gear, and abilities to the ultimate test.
Lots of hands. That doesn't look good.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Spoilers. That's enough of that for now. But we look forward to showing you much more this June at our first hands-on gameplay event.
Perfect. June then, next month. We're in May, aren't we?
And
I think
from
we're officially
everyone at
today's the first day of
Gearbox,
May.
thank
Second
you for
day of May.
joining us.
Well, I gotta say, kids, this looks freaking amazing. Definitely on our list of what we're gonna be playing in September. Absolutely playing this in September. I'm on board for all of that. That looked freaking amazing for sure. What did they say? September what now? 12th? 2nd? It says here in a second. That's why I was going back. September 12th. Okay, so September 12th. That's on our list of things to do. So Phantom says it's a perfect birthday gift for me. We're gonna be playing this for sure, guys. We'll continue to cover. Obviously, they're gonna be showing more in June. I look forward to seeing more footage of that. Definitely gonna be a PlayStation playthrough for me in September. I don't think I know of anything else in September yet. So great first game of September for me to slot in. That's a wrap for the morning stream, guys. I gotta go run errands with Chris, and I've already got we got a bunch of videos clipped out from this morning, so I'll be getting those out onto YouTube over the rest of the day today. If you're watching this after the fact on YouTube, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell icon so you never miss an update. Daily streams at 5 a.m. Central on YouTube and Twitch. Generally speaking, we go live around that time every day. I should be back later on today with a secondary stream. It is Friday. So the objective is we're going to run errands, come back, take a nap, come back, probably do some more Days Gone Remastered, and push a bunch of these videos out on YouTube. So I'll catch you all later. Thanks for hanging out this morning, and have a great Friday, everybody. Peace.